Going to a football match in the middle of pandemic feels like an undergoing injury stats on a really big issue. A pre-match message is supposed to be why I have been when I immediately came up to the stadium 3 yards away, the crowds are predictably sparse. The pub outside the ground overflow with supporters wrapped in scarlet flag look like a pinch alternative. But when I suggest to a steward that might go get a drink ahead of the game, a look of concern crosses her kindly face. Be careful which pub you go to, she said. They will see you coming. What is she referring to? Could it be the dance food begging beside them? I had given my spare ticket to Rear Scott, my friend Alastair, for his from Edinburgh, but also the manager who sat at home in Glasgow. We decided to take the advice and skip the pub. Inside the stadium, we encountered a fan in the loudest food I'd ever seen, including a tiny captain prospect. I posed for a photo with him and they tells me I had it tailor-made, son. It fits me like a glove. It is not just COVID regulation that make this unique and peculiar phenomenon. Euro 2020, as a year students this has also become sucked into the culture wars. The pop outside of the supporter reference. It is not just COVID regulation that make this unique and peculiar Euro 2020, as a year students this has also become sucked into the culture wars. National football team is collaboration, but that is not a straightforward task at a time when national identity is so fiercely contested. For pressing issue for Scotland, it is incumbent. For England, it is race. For England, it is race. English football team has decided to take the knee before matches as a protest against racism. But each time they do it, they are booed by simply the few of their own supporters. Even the government seems uncertain how to respond. After hesitating for a while, Boris Johnson Prime Minister condemned the bullying and urged fans to get behind the team. But two members of his cabinet, Jacob Rees-Mogg and Philip Pettel, defended the protests, with Rees-Mogg suggesting that the protesters are not expressing racism but condemning the Marxist of Black Lives Matter movement. Pettel, brilliant some security, accused the player of indulging in desperate blood. Players from the England team who split games as cameras normally combined discussing tactics, injuries, and the atmosphere inside the camp now being added to reopen security. It would be natural to assume that cabinet ministers are better employed than footballers, but the Johnson government has reason to be wary of the clashing with the England team. Last year, it went down to an economic deficit when it took America's Rashford over the extension of free school meal for poor families. The Manchester United and England forward mobilized a million signatures behind the petition and forced the Johnson government to change tack. The 23-year-old Rashford preparation for Euro 2020 defended the protest with Lismo suggesting that the protest with the Lismo suggesting none of Manchester United and England forward mobilized a million signatures behind the petition and forced the Johnson government to instead. The 23-year-old Rashford preparation for Euro 2020 included a Zoom call with Obama, while plenty of tourists are prepared to grumble about the work in Rashford. None are willing to take him up with. The culture wars of football are not just happening in Britain. The multiracial Brazilian took the knee in Russia ahead of the opening game. They were also booed by the crowd. Doubtless the Russians also protested against Marxism. Viktor Orban, Prime Minister of Hungary, one of the host nations for Euro 2020, defended the fan who were visiting team detected saying the Hungarians see the gesture as a provocation. Orban is himself a right-wing provocateur who has become a hero to the Trumpist right in America by showing frequent warning about the elderly dangerous Europe being flooded by Muslims. But even some moderate conservatives are uncomfortable about football taking the knee. One prominent Tory thinker in Britain laments me that football has been a political debate, but now the national team has become a source of division. I can see what it means. This year's tournament never really brings back memories of Euro 96. Euro 96. When England played Euro 96. When England also played their games at Wembley, and the whole country seemed to get behind the team in a complicated sort of way. Back then, packed the stadium all joined the singing of three lines. Football's coming home. Now the stadiums are largely empty and some home crowd that actually bring the players. By somebody who has been to many England games over the years, I know that the idea that the team was never mixed up with politics or race is an illusion. Politics and race an illusion. Race and illusion. England games have always attracted a substantial number of so-called hooligan and far-right supporters, whose trademark chant is "No surrender to our A." At the last European Football Championship in France in 2016, the ugly tradition of English football hooliganism re-emerged. When I remarked to another fan that I didn't particularly being caught up in a riot outside a bar in Marseille, I was told curtly, "If you don't like it, you should stay at home and watch the game on television." Football grind in 1970 were also where I saw the most over racing that I ever witnessed. It was routine to see black players bark by wheels and monkey noses. Monkey noses. The football authorities and commentators were silent about this for many years. So if the current nation side felt they want to make a statement about racism, it is hard to accuse them of bringing politics into the public space. The politics, particularly the racial politics, have always been there. The identity issues are rather different for Scotland. The identity issues are rather different for Scotland. Euro 2020 comes as the Scottish government is ramping up demand for a second independent referendum. This is the first major international tournament the team has qualified for since 1998, neatly fitting the narrative of national revival. Arriving in Scotland for the first game of the tournament, I find the local paper full of optimism. In recognition of the enormity of the occasion, the Scottish government has even allowed school staff lessons to allow the kids to watch the game against Czechs live. As a visiting English fan, I wonder how I feel about all this. I grew up supporting Scotland in big international tournaments. I had little options since England failed to qualify for the World Cup in 1974 and 1978. But British identity was less complicated back then. The anthem play for the Scotland side that lined up to play Brazil in 1974 was God Save the Queen, although to recording did not show the Scottish player looking particularly delighted. The team Today, the crowd and team will be building up Love Scotland with the stern word that we can still rise now and beat the nation again. Again, when Scotland qualified for the World Cup in 1973, there were more than 90,000 people inside Hampden. But today, thanks to COVID, it's a little over 9,000. Far from the joyous return to the big time that has been advertised, it feels pretty black and lonely up in the stand, even if the Turtle Army has been reduced to little more than a couple of battalions. They built up Love Scotland loud enough to drown out the conversation. The team started the game with all the expected passion and steam forward. Their captain Andy Robertson can be seen gesturing to his player to calm down. Then the tech score and the air sucked out of the stadium. At that time, which I choose spend in the toilet next to the hand dryer, the warmest spot in Hampton, there's hopeful chatter around the urinal that Scotland might be able to turn this round. But early in the second half, football history is made by the text. Team center Patrick Schick, the team center forward, gets the ball on the halfway line and floats the ball over the Scottish goalkeeper into the net. It is one of the most brilliant goals any of us will ever witness. The crowd is now almost totally silent, apart from a tiny group of cheering Czechs on the other side of the stadium, and a group of children near me who continue happily shouting for Scotland, while the other around them was frozen in horror. After the match, Alastair reminds me that Scottish fans are used to bitter disappointment. Making the national football team a symbol of the nation is a double-edged word. We imagine them scoring wonderful goals and celebrating the fan. But what if your goalkeeper floundering flat on his back and tangled up in the net? Euro 2020 has already delivered humbling setback for two football mad populist leaders. Two populist leaders. Oh, humbling setback for two populist leaders. Humbling setback for two mad populist leaders. Orban gave permission for a capacity crowd to attend Hungary's opening game in Budapest against Portugal, only to see the national side lose from only to national sides lose 3-0. Recep Erdogan, president of Turkey, traveled to Azerbaijan and sat in a place of honor next to the other president, from where he was able to see Turkey go down to a 2-0 defeat against Wales. Against Wales. against Well, England fans also have a habit disappoint their most ardent fan. The side often portrays as embodiment of what we like to believe are national characteristics. Courage, calmness under pressure. In fact, as a recent piece by Donald Leo in The Guardian pointed out, England are uniquely bad at holding a lead in a tournament. The numbers seem to suggest they might even be battlers. And their or has said the French and Italians are much better at holding their nerve when they take lead. If Gareth Southgate, an England major, can somehow break this cycle and turn England into a winning outfit, he will inadvertently provide a huge boost to Johnson government that is desperate for symbol of the success of Brexit Britain. But Southgate has subsequently unmistakably positioned himself to the left of the government on taking the knee. He leads a multiracial team and has continued to defend their right to make statements other than football. It has been accepted wisdom in Britain that culture words always work better for the right than the left, but football may be an exception. All poll taken across Europe before your 2020 have defended fans who visiting teams saying that Hungarian see the gesture as the Brexit Britain, but Southgate has subsequently mystically positioned himself to the left of the government on taking the knee. He leads a multiracial team and has continually defended the right to make statements other than to make statements. With culture words about the maybe uphold section. It has become accepted within Britain that culture wars always work better for the right than the left, but football may be an exception. A poll taken across Europe before 2020 showed 54% of English football fans supported taking the knee, with 39% opposed. If the England team keep winning, the number in favor may rise along with the team's popularity. But once the right may find itself on the wrong end of a culture war for the duration of Euro 2020, I will care much less about who wins the culture war than who wins the tournament. For Scotland, Euro 2020 began with a deflating defeat. The England team disappointed their fans almost as reliably as the Scots, just slightly later in the day. On the other hand, this is a real tournament. It's taking place in the middle of a pandemic. The stadiums are quarter full and England are playing half decently. I am allowing myself to for the weirdest outcome of the lot, an England victory.